Okay, so let's. While Brittany's rescuing her tea, let's start with Alistair. You sent
Yay.
me some letters that you had sent to your sister and the Madame. So that's kind of taken care of. Those have kind of gone their way. You've had,
Same.
now it's 2 years since we last saw you, and Mick as well. About 2 years approximately from when you guys went out and did some assassinating and stealing and that kind of stuff.
Arson.
Um, I don't know if I have any specific questions for you, Alistair, because I mean you sent me the letter, so that stuff's kind of taken care of. You brought the fact that you do kind of you do see your sister, every couple of weeks. You get together and kind of maintain,
Yeah, about that,
a
yeah.
yeah, okay, somewhat personal but also business related kind of relationship, and um, you've just kind of been spending like the 2 years just doing your same old thing, taking contracts when they come in, selling stuff when you need to. You have been given, you have been seeing a little bit more field work, after your successful ventures. So you probably get a little bit more, better contracts in terms of what you're getting out of them, but some of them require a little bit more legwork as opposed to just sitting behind your desk and passing things on. But it's just not terribly frequently. Once in a while they give you a bigger thing to handle. Mick, it's been 2 years since we've seen you as well. Since you went to the Blind Row, got kicked out, all that good
Oh
stuff.
man, good times.
Yeah, you've been kind of doing the same thing. You've kind of always been doing it. I had a couple questions for you because you did you did come out of your episode with two magic pistols.
Yeah, I did.
Did you play around with them at all? Did you just take them back to your warehouse living area and stash them?
That's
Um,
honestly, I think that's what Mick would
have you
have
fenced
done.
them? Anything like that?
Oh no, he's gonna keep them.
Okay. I will say they're both Mage Lock pistols.
Illegal.
Yep, somewhat illegal. Yeah, the thing with magic items, especially weaponry, within the Empire and the city, it's not as severe as if you were using magic yourself, but it is something that's kind of seen as only certain people really can kind of access to the magic weapons and stuff like that. Some of it's just because they're too powerful, and there's still that stigma as far as the Empire is concerned about magics that you don't really understand it. You put these special symbols on weapons and bullets, and they get magic. They can't wrap their heads around that. You will see some higher ranking military or enforcers carry around some magic items. Maybe some higher level people like that, rich people perhaps might have them. But for the most part, common citizens or workers like Mick, you are not allowed to have them.
Oh, and he doesn't even believe in magic. He just thinks it's something extremely high tech.
Yep, yep. You do. I mean, studied them at least a little bit. So
Oh yeah.
you think that as far as you can tell, you just point and shoot. It's not nothing fancy. I mean, there's some symbols on it. It's very intricate, very high quality. Some kind of alloy that you're not really familiar with. Something kind of high class. Both the pistols are loaded, but as far as you can tell, they both only have a single shot in each. So my next question
That's
is:
fine.
did you test fire either of them?
I think I would have test fired one.
Okay, that's good. That's honest. Okay. Yep. So you test fired one. So you're down. You're down one bullet.
So do I add those into my
Sure.
weapons then?
Yeah. Two Majoc pistols. They're the plain Majoc pistols that are in the core book. You only have one round for one of them. You definitely. I mean, it's definitely nice light show. You fire the gun. It's definitely something a little bit more powerful than a normal pistol. It was far more accurate. The range seemed to be much longer.
Sweet. That's actually good because I could put a scope on that now.
Did you spend any time trying to figure out where to get or how to make the ammunition for those guns? Because you noticed this, they don't take normal bullets. Maybe you even tried on the.
He probably wouldn't have, honestly. He probably wouldn't have. He might have tried to maybe carve the same symbol, but that's probably about as far as he would have ever gone.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe after you fired the first one, you're like, oh, that's neat. That's definitely something special. Maybe you tried to reload it with a normal kind of slug powder combo that you would in a normal pistol, but nothing great happened. So you realize that there's definitely something special with the ammunition as well, but you didn't really look into it. So put those away. The other thing that you're acutely aware of, and I think the three of you would be kind of aware of as well, you certainly will be going forward in this episode, but you specifically, Mick, the Cinderstorm Corporation in Aethermere has been hard at work over the past couple years, basically installing what amount to light towers throughout the city. Many of them. Not like lampposts, something a little bit more robust, a little more technologically advanced. And they've been laying down, they constructed the towers a while ago, and now they're laying down and installing basically, or just large cables, these lines that they're running from God knows where throughout the whole city. Something akin to like electrical lines, but far more crude. Most of them are kind of just going across the ground, and that's what they've been working on for a long period of time. Mick, you've been involved with it a little bit, kind of helping out. They've been installing a few of these towers around Coal Alley. A little bit hush about exactly what they are. As far as you're told, it's some sort of new energy source they discovered that will allow them to produce light without flame or fuel. It's kind of what they've kind of told you.
Without flame or fuel.
Yeah, something like, to speak plainly to you as players, something akin to like electricity. It seems like they're kind of trying to grapple with. They're laying down these cables, trying to get some kind of something. So then we go on to Josephine. It's only been a year since your prologue. You've had a lot of stuff to chew on and think over, and keep you busy for the year after your adventure in your prologue. You didn't come away with any fancy items or anything, but you'd come away with knowledge of a symbol, and also the knowledge that your magic somehow interacts with kind of the ash of the world, or vice versa, or there's something there. So I guess the first question I want to kind of throw your way is, I know I talked to you a little bit about it in chat over Skype over the week, but kind of what you did with this symbol. Did you research it? Did you practice drawing it? Did you experiment with it in any way, anything like that?
I probably would have practiced drawing it and experimented with it.
Okay.
Don't know that I really would have researched it. I think I would have been too afraid that people might find out.
All right. So you didn't look into the symbology of it, thinking maybe it's a symbol. It's clearly a symbol or some kind of rune. That's not unusual. But runes and symbols are always based on some sort of language, but you didn't kind of look in that avenue. You kind of just kept yourself a little bit more practical experimentation. From your prologue and from that whole thing, you did kind of learn, or at least you can guess right off the bat, that the symbol, when drawn, appropriately, it seems to have to be fairly accurate. It has to be pretty precise. When you draw an ash on a living creature, or at least a person, it seems to kill anyone who's not a Wraithborn, who's not a magic user. So, that's what you could kind of think, after what happened. Just your conversation with the woman and seeing it used and that kind of stuff. So, did you try it out in any way like that?
No, if anything, I probably would have only ever drawn it on myself.
Gotcha. Yep, I got you. That's fine. Yeah, and every time you draw it on yourself, it does the same thing like before, like the very first time you did it. Like it just kind of glows, it gets like a little magic-y, and then just kind of vanishes. It's kind of bizarre. So that's kind of as far as you got with this symbol. Maybe because you're afraid of hurting someone. Obviously, if you interact with a living person, and also not wanting the authorities to figure out or to learn that you're playing around with magic-related anything.
Yeah.
The other thing I think we need to talk about was because you got 2 languages as part of your class or whatever, and there aren't languages, you're gonna pick up an extra spell, and we wanted to do something kind of ash-related, which I thought was a fantastic idea. Did you give that any more thought?
I kind of looked through the spells a bit. I didn't really find one that matched very well, or one that kind of emulated what I want to do with it. So I just have to put a pin in that for now and have another look at it.
Okay. So maybe you should try. I mean, you do learn. Like, you've had a year to kind of mess around with this kind of thing, and you've maybe even a little bit more focused now after what happened. You do know that there is definitely some kind of interaction between your magic and the ash, and you begin to think that maybe even the ash, all this leftover destruction from the world is almost magic in itself somehow, or you can kind of you see that you can almost control it a little bit, maybe channel a little bit of magic and you get some of it kind of will like flow and like kind of respond to you, but you haven't maybe quite mastered anything that we could call a spell. But we'll get there.
One day.
Yep. And remind me how we left off. Oh, you sent them away.
Yeah, you sent them away.
I did.
That's Darvish and Ben. Or no, what was it? Ben. Was it Ben?
Yeah, it was Darvish and Ben.
Darvish and Ben, who found out. Or at least we're pretty sure they found out your secret, but you banished them. So it's hard to say what happened. You haven't heard anything back. I expect for maybe the weeks following, you kind of looking over your shoulder like every 2 seconds and just waiting for like higher authorities to come knocking on your door, but never happened. So as far as you can tell, I mean, it's a year later. Every day you feel like a little bit better about it. That maybe they never told anybody, maybe no one believed them. It seemed like only Darvish was going to say anything anyway, because he's a jerk.
Darvish was a dick. I'm glad I made him turn out that way.
Yeah, Ben was too, yeah. Ben wasn't going to say anything anyway.
He's a chicken shit.
Yeah. He's probably afraid that if he'd said anything, that Josephine would just like appear in the middle of the night and murder him. He's not sure how magic works.
He just knows that apparently blood pours from every orifice of your body.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Okay. That's all I kind of wanted to say about, the time in between. So I want to make sure I knew what Mick was doing with his magic pistols and stuff. And how you looked at this symbol. Okay. So now we are a year later after the events in the Ashfall Zone. Like I said, the most, things have been pretty kind of normal for the most part. The only thing of note, like I said before, is this kind of installation of this new technology that seems to be funded and kind of pushed by the Cinderstorm Corporation, which is the dominant corporation within Aethermere. The only other one of note, I think, in Aethermere that's really operating in any reasonable fashion would be the Volagard. They own the mining district. So they have a fair amount of power and money and wealth and stuff. But for the most part, Aethermere kind of has sort of taken over Aethermere. Or Cinderstorm has taken over Aethermere. And they are putting a lot of time and effort towards this new system that they're laying out. Light towers or whatever the heck they are. So as we begin... like most days, for actually all three of you, for the most part, you kind of start your morning by waiting to get either orders, or a contract, or a job to do. All three of you pretty much are, almost contract workers, in a lot of ways. You kind of wait to be told, kind of given an assignment. So when we start, sort of a new day, roughly a year later, Josephine, you're called in to see, I forgot his, we gave him Captain Jarvis Maverick.
Jarvis.
Your superior, magic hating, but kind of laid back and formal boss.
Yes,
You pretty
my
much,
bad.
unless you have a long, once you're between jobs, every morning you'll go to see him. Okay, what now? Where am I stationed? Most of the time, like you'll get like a week or two kind of station. So it's not like every day you go get a job. It's but at this point you're kind of between things, and so you go see him, and he has assigned you to watch over the final construction of one of these light towers, one of these thunderstorm towers, somewhere between Coal Alley and the East Market, kind of in the outskirts of the factory district. So your instructions are just to go there. These things are being put up all over, just to go make sure that no one, interferes, basically. So you to do that and kind of be the Empire's kind of, boots on the ground there.
All right.
Mick, you have been tasked with helping with the final installation of this tower.
Ooh.
You'll be working alongside it'll be one Cinderstorm kind of employee, kind of engineer, kind of working with you. But because this is really just a widespread citywide thing that they're doing. They got these things going all over the place. So they're making use of kind of the grunts to do some of the manual labor and stuff.
Yeah.
You probably even spent some time just being, just muscle helping to roll out these like metal cables, not knowing really what they're really supposed to do. So you've been called out to go help out, kind of do the final connection and some of the more mechanical work on the tower itself. Because this is a day that they've said that most of the towers, the goal is to get all these towers up at the same time, turn them all out at once, and be like Christmas Day when they light up the Times Square Christmas tree kind of thing. Flip the switch and it's be oohs and ahs. So you're to do that.
Got it, boss.
Alistair, you're given a contract that morning. You know that your organization has been keeping a close eye on what Cinderstorm has been up to. Because when Cinderstorm's doing stuff like this, there's a lot of money involved. Money and potential gain and product. And you've been given a contract this morning to steal a capacitor from one of the towers. A very specific piece, kind of the keystone to one of the towers, and it's supposed to be very valuable. Kind of just cutting edge technology that anyone outside of Cinderstorm doesn't really know what they do. But you've been given kind of a diagram. This is what the thing looks like. Go get it. It's super, super valuable. And you kind of get the feeling that this is sort of more a corporate contract. You don't always know who's funding the contract, because it kind of goes through your organization before it gets to you. But if you had to guess, you'd say some other corporation is trying to steal trade secrets. So that's kind of been that's your contract to fulfill. And with most of your contracts, you don't get a whole lot of direction on how to do it. They pretty much just say, here's the item we want you to get. Get it. Kind of thing. You kind of left up to your own devices. At this point, you're so well established. So, as our day starts, unless you guys have anything you want to do beforehand, or if you want to just not perform your given duty or anything like that, let me know.
No, Mick's gonna have to. So.
I would like to keep my job.
Okay. Yeah, and Josephine, you're probably sent out with another couple rookies. So, Ben and Darvish 2.0. Maybe you just get sent with just one. You're spread pretty thin, but I mean, your task really just kind of keep the piece as normal, but also to kind of keep an eye on what Cinderstorm's doing, because there is a little bit of a disconnect between some of the corporations and the Empire itself. So since Cinderstorm's putting on this big production, all the stuff, they kind of want you there to kind of observe what they're doing as well. Okay. So I mean, Mick and Josephine just kind of get to work. Mick kind of just goes out just on the outskirts of Coal Alley, kind of leaves his factory job. You are allowed to bring your steam jack with you to do some of the heavier lifting, to kind of connect parts and kind of do some of the work for you. but you are you're the expertise, the local expertise, if you will.
Good, good, good.
Josephine, you take well, this is pretty close to the barracks. You probably don't have to take a train. You probably walk there. There are a few Cinderstorm, enforcers around, but only a couple. And then there's one Cinderstorm engineer who's working with Mick and maybe a couple other lesser skilled workers. Probably people maybe Mick from the factories. They don't have any special training like you, but they come along too to kind of help out with some of the work. And this tower is essentially this kind of gears and steel type, small lighthouse is kind of what it looks like. It's just kind of built into like the side of a street. There's cables and stuff all over the place. So you two Mick and Josephine, you get to work. Alistair, what did you want to do? Because you're kind of a little bit more looser direction.
He's gonna be creeping into people's windows.
Next, I mean, you're just given the objective, like,
yeah,
and you're kind of told where some probable locations would be. Just to make it simple, the one that is nearest you is the same one that the other two are going to. They're going to be bringing in the fancy, expensive parts today to get them installed and put into the tower. So your goal is basically to somehow get this capacitor, this piece of equipment, before it gets installed, because then it's a little bit harder to remove it, kind of thing. And whatever else you can get of value.
Of course. All right. So yeah, probably head to that one, the one nearest me.
Mm-hmm.
Start off by just walk around like the outskirts, see if are they keeping people out of the area, like normal people.
I mean, this work has been going on for the better part of a year or two, putting these towers in and rolling the cables out, but it's still, especially today, word is spread that this is kind of the day that most of them get completed and unveiled, and it's going to be just big hurrah. But yeah, they are kind of keeping the crowd back. No one really dares get too close, really. I mean, the crowd mostly polices itself, but there are a lot of people, citizens around watching. You see, I mean, you probably recognize Mick almost immediately once you get there, because he's kind of around the tower working with another couple kind of workers from Coal Alley. You pick out a Cinderstorm engineer. He's dressed far nicer. He's kind of acting like a foreman. Basically just bossing Mick and the other guys around. Lift this up here, connect this here, and you see, you don't know Josephine, but you see Josephine and a couple cogs. They're kind of keeping their distance a little bit, kind of walking around the outskirts of the crowd, make sure the crowd doesn't get too rambunctious or get too close, and keeping an eye on things. But other than that, I mean, security in general is pretty light, and that was another reason we were kind of given this contract. Knowing that Cinderstorm has spread themselves so thin to try to get all this stuff done at the same time, that the normal forces are kind of spread out, and they didn't seem to put a whole lot of security into this tower in Coal Alley, because it's just a lower district.
So they're bringing in the stuff today, so that I'd assume that they wouldn't have put in the conductor yet. It would be around there somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. From what you were told, sometime around mid-morning towards the middle of the day, those parts are supposed to be brought in, sort of, not an armored truck kind of thing, but something similar to that for the the area. Cinderstorm guys will come in, Mick and will help install it, and la-di-da. Hopefully by nightfall, it's done and everything's magic. I mean, at this point, when you first get there, you're just kind of scouting things out. I mean, you probably got there early to try to get a lay of the land. Yeah, so I mean, you notice that right now the security is not real tight. They're kind of doing some final installations and work, hooking up some of the cables to the tower. That's kind of what the morning's been devoted to before the important, expensive parts come in later in the morning. From what you can see, they haven't arrived yet.
Right. There's probably going to be more guys coming in with the stuff.
You would imagine, yes.
All right. Let's see. No. I was gonna say try to get Mick's attention, but I don't think I could call him over and talk to him without somebody like freaking seeing us talk.
No, I mean,
And
there's a little
him being subtle about it.
Well, I mean,
say.
If your goal, Alistair, is to stay like within the crowd, just kind of one of the people. Yeah, I mean, if you call out and Mick comes over, they're gonna people are gonna see you. They're gonna know you're talking to him.
And Mick's just gonna be like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah.
Now he's a pondering.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just kind of wait until something develops further. But if your goal is go ahead.
Is there a better like a view that's not within the crowd? Like, so I'm not like not one that I'm like gonna be out in the open, but like I can get a better vantage on it.
You could enter one of the buildings around. There's a tavern nearby that has 3 stories. Rooms up top. You could possibly if you wanted something like that to get a better view of the land. But I'm not quite sure what you're going for. Duck in an alley. Or just, I mean, right now, if you're just hanging out in the crowd, you're pretty well kind of just, you're blending in. You're no different than
I know,
anybody
but
else.
like, I want to I don't want to say like get closer,
Find an entrance.
Sort of like not like through the front, but like try to find
pretty
like,
much what I did to get
Exactly.
into the district before, but without the walls.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just kind of describe the layout a little bit more then. You're kind of on, a street. Buildings, I mean, this is pretty crowded in terms of, buildings. So, I mean, every street is pretty much just lined with buildings of various sorts. This tower is kind of being installed, basically akin to what would be like the sidewalk, just off the road. Pretty near some buildings. So, I mean, you could potentially slip into, you kind of go around some of the buildings, sneak up the alley, and get pretty close to where the tower is, and maybe still be in the alley nearest it. Or maybe get to one of the buildings that it's closest to, while still being on, the ground level. Remember that, like, the street itself there, I mean, it's pretty, wide open. Kind of from the point where the tower is next to the buildings to the opposite side of the street. It's pretty much kind of kept, as a little bit of a buffer zone. There's equipment laying around in piles and crates and, like a wagon and stuff.
All right, so let me try to get around it, see if I can get a little bit closer.
Okay. Roll me stealth.
Whoop-de-doo.
Don't mess this up.
Sneaky stealth. 7. Wow.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
That is a perfect roll. 665. Yeah. You're able to kind of duck out of the crowd, go around some side streets, find the alley that would kind of put you out right next to the corner where this tower is being constructed. You go into the alley, and luckily this alley is pretty well cluttered. There's some more equipment and machinery and stuff related to the construction, so you're able to kind of get pretty close to the end of the alley. No one pays you any mind. No one's hanging out in the alley, and you're within, we'll say, 15, 20 feet of the closest kind of edge of this tower where some of the people are working. Mick's kind of on the just on the other side. The Cinderstorm engineer at this point is kind of staying with his back to you, pretty near the mouth of the alley, but he's got no clue you're there. He's just bossing Mick around. And the crowd, of course, is further behind, further away.
Like, sure, cool, whatever. I'm learning how to build this tower. Awesome.
with your Steam Jack. Did you name your Steam Jack?
I haven't named it yet. I've actually been thinking about it because I don't want to disappoint you guys again with like a dinky name.
I'm sure you're just gonna name it Jack,
Jerks.
aren't you? Mick, Anik, and Jack. Jack the Steam Jack.
Could name him Jacko. Jacko.
Whatever. It's gonna be
What's
stupid.
the name?
It's gonna be stupid.
Rodriguez?
It's gonna be stupid either way.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Name a Steam Jack that's not. What's a good name for a Steam Jack that's not stupid?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
But you do some brainstorming in your downtime. We don't want to be. It's gotta be good.
Gotta be good.
Was there like a date on when they needed this thing by, like end of the day or a certain time, or
No, not when they need it. It's just kind of one of those counters to get it. But the information you got was like if you don't at least get it in your possession today, I mean your shot of ever getting is about 0.
really?
Once that part goes inside the tower, your chance of getting it out again are much slimmer. Not impossible, but you'd have to somehow get start do some long laborious work on the tower to take it apart again.
It's that ingrained in there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I need a minute. What is everybody else doing?
Okay.
I'm hammering away.
Probably just supervising, making my rounds.
Did your minute?
What the fuck?
We're doing our job.
Thanks, guy.
Yeah, our jobs are significantly more boring than your job.
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, I mean, and for the most part, I mean, you're just kind of on crowd control for the most part, and maybe just Josephine. I mean, maybe you just kind of go back and forth along the the outside of the crowd, make sure people stay back, and I mean, if you take any interest in what's going on, I mean, I don't know if there's anything you didn't notice. Alistair sneaking around because he's so sneaky. You see and you notice Mick. He's kind of just mouthy little gobber who's working with a Steam Jack. I mean, the Cinderstorm employees kind of give you dirty looks. The cogs, there's kind of this animosity between the cogs and the local enforcement. Sort of the feud between local cops and city cops or whatever. At some point, Josephine, as you're kind of walking along, I imagine you just kind of going from one end of the crowd, walking back and forth, and hey, you get back kind of thing, and continuing on. It is fairly boring. At some point, someone grabs your arm, like at the elbow as you walk past. Not like aggressively if they're attacking you, but almost like a hey.
Yeah. Yes.
You turn around, you see crowd, and you see the people, and guy closest to you just kind of frowns at you and says, "What? I ain't doing anything."
No sign of who tried to grab me.
You didn't see them; they kind of grabbed you from behind. You have it could have been anyone. There's a lot of people there.
It was a ghost. Spooky ghost.
It's a spooky ghost.
Not too spooky for me. I'm going home, guys.
That's it. Game over.
I don't know. I just like frown in the general direction of the crowd and like continue sort of like making my rounds.
Roll credits
Okay.
for that crap.
Yeah.
Credits for that quest.
Do you have any thoughts of what you want to do, Alistair, or are you just kind of waiting for something new to happen?
All right, there's probably nothing I can do. There's nothing I can really do right now until the parts arrive. So I'm gonna wait until until the stuff shows up and hope that the conductor isn't the first thing that they put in.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, fast forward a little bit towards noon, a little bit maybe 1 o'clock, somewhere around there, just after noon. It seems that Mick has done pretty good. Actually, you know what? Mick, make me there's got to be engineering roles or something, right?
Yeah, I think there is mechanical engineering.
Something like that. Yeah. So I want to see how efficient you were at doing
Yeah,
your
there
job.
is.
Mechanical
Yeah,
engineering.
11.
Mechanic put some magic in the machine. Okay. So I mean, you didn't. I mean, you kind of worked at an even pace. Every once in a while, I'm getting my own voice from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where it's coming from. So I mean, you were kind of working at like a normal pace, and just about kind of when you were supposed to finish, you kind of finished. You've kind of been working nonstop all day. You get thrown like a cup of water once in a while, but for the most part, you're kind of just being driven with a whip. So
he
about
doesn't even care. He's more interested in building it.
yeah, that's fine. This
He's
is
like,
pretty. It's pretty
awesome.
interesting work. I mean, a lot of the equipment's new and fancy and higher class stuff than you're used to working
That's
with.
what he likes.
No rust on anything. This is the high class stuff from the Cinderstorm Corporation.
There's no rust.
No
What is this?
rust. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All brand new stuff you're putting in. So about 1 o'clock, roaming down the street comes a wagon. Not like a wooden wagon, but a steel wagon, but still drawn by horses. And walking beside it are Cinderstorm enforcers. There seem to be 2 on each side of the wagon, kind of walking alongside it, and 1 at the back. Then a guy driving it too. So I guess there are 6, altogether. Armed. They have blades and rifles or some sort of kind of long gun. It kind of rides right up towards the tower and stops. The engineer, who's been there working with Mick, he directs you and the other couple, you and your steam jack, and start kind of unloading the wagon. There's a whole bunch of stuff in it.
Right. I'm gonna get on that.
Okay. So you start unloading it. There's just a few crates, maybe some coils of wire, kind of replacement stuff. And you set it down, and once you kind of get it unloaded, the Cinderstorm engineer starts kind of telling you what part goes in next, and in what order to do it. The things you're doing aren't unusual to you, like the techniques. You've just never used the actual parts and done this actual thing. So you need a little bit of direction. So you start kind of unboxing parts and stuff. Josephine, this is kind of going on. You get someone taps you, like kind of on the shoulder. Again, at a different location in the crowd.
I scan the crowd again. Anyone?
Make me perception? Or no, detection. Dang it, I did it again. Detection. I knew that wasn't right.
That's okay.
It's D&D again.
Yeah, no. See, I know it's something like perception.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, perfect. You didn't see exactly who grabbed you. It's not like they were still standing there with their arm on you, but as you turn around, you see kind of the crowd start to kind of come back together, as if someone's like, moving away from you through the crowd towards the back, and they're kind of closing behind them. So there's definitely someone there, or something there.
I'm gonna duck into the crowd for a moment and see if I can follow through.
Okay. I mean, the detection score is good enough. You can tell just by how the crowd kind of reacted to them passing through, kind of where they ended up. Somewhere beyond the crowd. Looked like they were going towards there's a tavern. There's kind of these people are kind of crowded in front of. And the door is just wide open. There are people in there as well. And it looks like they went inside.
Okay. I'm gonna head in there then.
Okay. So you head in there, start pushing your way through and looking around. Alistair, are you just kind of waiting until you kind of your eyes see the object of desire?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of all I could do right now.
Yeah.
Waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you were never told this was going to be an easy thing. It was just kind of, this is the only opportunity to snag this thing for us. Yeah, I mean, as Mick and his Steam Jack are unloading the cart, as soon as they get unloaded, they start unboxing things and kind of laying parts out. And once they do that, you see it. There are a few other items around that look pretty fancy too, but then you see this capacitor that you've been tasked with getting. It looks just like the diagram. It is large. It is like the size of, like an infant. Kind of this round cylinder thing. It's got connectors at both sides. Mick, you were told that this is one of the last pieces to go in. The capacitor is one of the most important parts too, and kind of acts as the interface between these cables that are kind of running through the city. This capacitor will go to the end of that, and then to interact between the interface between that and the rest of the tower. You don't quite understand. I mean, it's not totally unlike some parts you see like in a Steam Jack, or anything to kind of regulate, power currents and stuff. But it is very large. So I mean, you see it. Alistar's just kind of sitting out there, near the tower, kind of laid out. Mick's working on some other things right now. Yeah, you're close enough to kind of hear a little bit, kind of about what I just kind of told Mick. So, and he's not working on that part yet, but it will be fairly soon.
And I'm like, all right, so it's like the part where they're working and where they put it together. It's like the other side from where I am.
You're in the alley.
Yeah.
Right in front of the alley, kind of maybe on the corner of one of the buildings that forms the alley, is where the tower is.
Hmm.
And Mick's kind of working on the side of the tower that you can't see. It's kind of where he's working. But you see the stuff kind of laid out there in the middle of the street. Like, you're maybe 20 feet from your treasure. Like, you can see it very clearly.
I like how it's right smack in the middle. Of
It's the engineer dude's still there, right?
Yep.
Are you gonna stab him in the back of the throat too?
So he's just gonna, his arms and legs are just gonna go straight out as he disappears back into the alley.
So he's the only one, right? He's the only engineer.
I mean, the only Cinderstorm engineer.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I mean. Cinderstorm. Does he have like a hat or something? Like
Yeah, hat.
something that
He has. Does he have a hat? What a
with
question.
tire. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has a uniform for sure. It's very clearly, clear who he works for. He's got the emblem on his back and front. Hat, not a hat per se. I think he's wearing some sort of small, thin helmet, of a sort. Something somewhere between, like a hard hat and like a army helmet, kind of, something like that, maybe. He's kind of got, goggles and stuff, kind of, fancy kind of apparatuses for his eyes too.
Okay.
So he has headwear, for whatever that's worth.
Okay.
I know where this is going. I'm not even going to enjoy every minute of it. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
So.
Do
All right.
it.
Stop. Stop.
You hear Mick in the back of your head. Do it.
Make me laugh the whole time.
Giggling as he stabs a dude.
Is there a bottle in the alleyway?
Roll me a
I
d6.
find one.
And I'll also say at this point, the wagon that brought the stuff and the Cinderstorm enforcers are still there at this point. No bottle. There's other kind of trash and refuse around. Well, not trash per se. There are, mechanical parts, engineering stuff, gears and stuff like that, wrenches maybe. no bottle.
All right.
There are things to throw if that's what you're thinking, for sure.
Yeah,
but
something like that.
a bottle, no.
This is what came to mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, something to make some noise because I want a distraction.
There are nuts and bolts. I said heavier stuff.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Throw a wrench at him.
And yell that as you chuck it from the dark.
Like that's like all the crowd sees is some guy get tanked in the side of the head with a brick.
There's just a wrench that comes out of nowhere. He just takes it. And then nothing else happens.
It's just some dick that threw a wrench.
Oh, I could have done that too. Oh well, too late. I could have started a riot.
I mean, you could always sneak around and start a riot again.
Yeah.
You got into the alley.
Whatever. I'm committed, I guess.
Okay.
Just, I guess either like make noise. Like I want him, like to come investigate. You know, either like throw something at him so he'll be like, "What the hell?" and go investigate, or like make noise in the alley so he'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, which do you want to do?
We'll start with just the noise in the alley.
Okay, so you just start banging some stuff together.
Yeah, I'll just like pick up like a wrench or whatever, or a piece of metal,
Okay.
hit the wall, and then like duck down behind something.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you bang some stuff together. You make some noise. Immediately, the Sinistrum engineer, you're peeking out to see him, so you know what he's doing. He turns around, and he looks, and he kind of squints and listens for a moment, and then turns back around to his work.
Lame.
Didn't see anybody.
Bastard. I know, right? If he sees me, he's just gonna be like, "Guard, go kick his ass." Yeah, just take I guess plan B is like take a bolt
Okay.
and throw it in his direction, like so it'll like land near him.
Okay. Make me. It's sort of like I wanted you to make like a ranged attack with the goal to be to get it near him. So I guess that's 2d6 plus poise. I guess something like that.
Is it? Hold on.
Unless there's a skill
Yeah.
that seems like it's something like that, but this is kind of more like an attack, even though you're not trying to hit him. But you might hit him.
Oh, there's a thrown weapon skill.
This just says mechanic thrown _ text.
Of course, because it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna have to change that.
Yeah, too bad there's no like improvised weapon throw.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, there's probably there's got to be rules for throwing stuff.
I think there is rules for improvised weapons somewhere.
Have to hunt him down.
Yeah, I personally, I think right now, thrown weapon, but
I mean, that's kind of got to be what I'm trying to say anyway. You're just adding your poison to something. Like, poison is supposed to be
I mean, it
used
says
for ranged
prowess.
weapons.
Yeah, it's prowess, I think.
because if
Or
you're
whatever.
throwing it,
Okay,
not like
whichever.
I got it. It's hand weapon.
Okay.
Is it?
So for like bottles or broken bottles and stuff like
Nice.
that, it's hand weapon. I guess I think that's if you're stabbing someone. Actually, hold on. Range. Okay, the skill becomes thrown weapon.
I knew it.
Yep.
All right, throw a weapon. Is that already a pre-assigned button in your character sheet?
Yeah,
bad.
that's a skill. It's in the military skills,
Oh, it's a
right
skill?
under heavy artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what make Anik through underscore text throne.
Oh, it's a skill, not a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just rolled a 2+1, so like mine was just absolute garbage.
I just want you to make a throw that has something to do with throwing something. All I want.
God damn it.
Thrown weapon. Thrown. Roll it.
Just roll me. We'll come back to this. It'll be something we look at later on. Just roll me a 2d6 plus whatever your prowess stat is, or whatever the stat is that deals with ranged
poise.
weapons.
Because my
Poise.
pistol is poise, I think.
Okay, that's what I thought. Someone else said prowess, which I don't know. It's not
Well,
confusing.
thrown weapon says prowess.
2d6
Yeah, plus whatever your poise is.
plus. It's 5. 6
Pretty good.
plus 5. Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Okay. You throw a bolt. It lands. Doesn't really land near him. Well, near enough that it catches his attention. Again, he turns back and like looks at the alley. Takes like half a step in. Looks around, squints. He turns back and says, "Hey, you! Just go check the equipment in the alley." Talking to one of the local engineers, not Mick, one of his grunt helpers.
Thank God. Thank God. I would have blown his cover so hard.
Hey, Alistair! Alistair's back
What are you
here.
doing back here, buddy?
So this guy, he just gets up, just like Mick, follows orders, walks in, starts wandering down the alley, just looking around. Are you hiding well enough? Do you want to make a? Are you trying to hide from him as you see him and you start coming towards you? Just kind of poking around, make sure no one's stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Or do you want this guy to be able to see you?
No, I'd like to hide. It's not the guy that I wanted to.
Gotcha.
To fuck up.
We're doing some alley nut fishing here. Go ahead and roll me a stealth. That's like hiding, unless there's hiding. Unless hiding is its own thing. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Stealth versus detection.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll this.
I think, right?
Detection. It's pretty simple. We'll make him. Alright, we'll do this. 6. I guess he meets. He starts. Maybe he's like slipped under like a tarp or like a canvas, and he's going around. He's kind of just poking at stuff, kicking at things, and he kicks at like the tarp here underneath you, and he uncovers like your foot. And he kind of jumps back. And says, "Whoa!" And he kind of leans down. He slowly pulls the canvas back. He sees you, and there's just a moment where you're just staring at each other.
I jump up. I grab him and I push him against the opposite wall and like cover his mouth.
Okay. Make me another stealth check for sneaky assassin type business in the alleyway. 13. I'm going to roll for. Okay. Yep. The Sinister engineer is dumber than a box of rocks. He doesn't hear you. It's pretty dark. It's sunny out in the street, so maybe he didn't see you, even if he was looking. But yeah, you shove this guy against the wall, and you cover his mouth, and he's just eyes wide looking at you. Not really trying to fight you.
If you make a noise, I kill you. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what to go from here.
That's perfect.
Oh my God. Great. Tell him what to. No, I can't tell you anything.
Okay, well, you think on that. We'll pause. Josephine ducked into the tavern. The tavern's pretty crowded. People are having some drinks, but for the most part, this is kind of looked at as almost like a national holiday kind of thing. Everyone's just kind of partying and seeing what the new technology kind of thing is. So there's a lot of people around. You're 99.9% positive that whatever you're following went into the tavern, just from the way the crowd moves and your detection roll. But once you get in there, you're kind of lost again. So you can tell me how you want to proceed. Whether you just want to try to look for something out of the ordinary, or ask around, or just look.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone who either seems to be paying attention to the fact that I've walked in, like, more than they should be, or someone who's still, like, making an effort to, like, walk away somewhere, like,
okay, make me a detection roll, as you're just kind of trying to pick something out of the crowd. 13, yeah, 13 is good too. You scan the crowd, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. People are just drinking, carrying on. People don't react to you any differently than they would seeing you any other time. You see a cog, they kind of give you a little bit of, once they see you come, they kind of move out of your way a little bit. But you do see, like, just the last leg, like the last heel of somebody disappearing up the stairs. There's no one else, like, no one else going up or down the stairs.
Alright, I'm gonna follow them.
Okay. You head upstairs. Above this tavern is just a single floor. It's just got a couple rooms for rent, and the living quarters for tavern owner or whatever. You get upstairs. It's just a hallway, 5 rooms, 2 doors on one side, 3 doors on the other side. They all are shut, and you don't see anybody.
Alright, I'm gonna slowly walk up to the doors and just see if I can hear anything.
Okay. Okay, so you go up to the first door. Roll me detection again. Alistair's sneaking this session, and Josephine is detecting. You don't hear anything at the first door.
Annie is doing nothing.
He's doing his damn job.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's being a yes man. Do you want to keep doing the same thing for each door until you maybe pick out something?
Yeah,
Or are you gonna,
I'll just kind of walk from door to door and see if I can...
before you even think about opening anything or doing anything else? Okay. Now you go to the second door. You hear somebody in the second room you listen to, just some kind of moving around.
Okay.
This sounds like someone walking around on a wood floor.
Okay.
Second door, you don't hear anything. Or the third door, excuse me. Third door, you don't hear anything. The next door, you hear some movement. Not walking, but some things moving around. Sounds like maybe almost sounds like glasses maybe kind of bumping against each other, like glass or something.
Okay.
Nothing, there's something, something there. Last room, you don't hear anything.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the first door where I heard walking. And knock on the door.
You knock. No answer.
And listen carefully for if there's like a reaction of sorts.
Okay. Knock, and you listen. You don't hear anything. Like, you don't even hear, like, the move anymore. It's just silent now.
Okay. I'm just gonna try the handle.
Okay. The door is open. Open it. Swing it open. Inside is just a simple room, bed, dresser, window facing the street. But in the middle of the room, tied to a chair, is a middle-aged man. He's tied to the chair. He's bound and gagged. And it looks like there's a note kind of pinned to his chest.
Jeez. Okay.
And he's just looking at you with wide eyes, but like almost seems like relieved, like, oh, Cog's here, great. He starts kind of squirming around a little bit.
Okay. I walk up to him and I grab the note as I pull the gag down.
Okay. You kind of pull the note out and get the gag down. And, oh, thank you. Gosh. Get me out of here. You looking at the note at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. You open the note, and inside or on the note, written in either charcoal or something like that, is the symbol that you're familiar with, and the words "they know," period.
I immediately turn around and shut the door.
Okay, so you just leave.
No,
Oh
no,
no!
no, like, I
Okay,
don't
when you're
leave.
inside, I
Like,
gotcha.
I shut the door.
They're just like, that's it for me, folks. Okay, you shut the door.
I'm done.
And the guy's just like, yeah, untie me, get me out of here.
I show him the note, and I was like, "Does this mean anything to you? Like, why are you here?"
He squints at it. He says, no, I don't. They know what? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I drank a lot last night, and I woke up this morning tied to this chair.
I look around the room. Does there actually even seem to be any sign of like someone staying here, or?
The bed's unmade. When the dresser drawer is open, there looks like some clothes hanging out of it. It looks like it's someone's staying here in the room.
Okay. I do untie him.
Okay.
I gesture him to sit on the bed.
Okay. He kind of stands up and looks like he's kind of stiff and like rubs his wrists and sits on the edge of the bed.
Okay. Are there fairly noticeable like rope marks around his wrists?
Yes. Well, I mean, noticeable, yeah. I mean, you can tell he was tied up with rope, sure. Red marks around his wrist. Maybe if you wanted to examine a little bit closer, something akin to like a medical check, maybe you could try to just determine whether it looks like he was tied up for a long time or a short time, or.
Yeah, that's kind
Okay.
of the goal.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I know there's not. I don't think there's medicine, but
There is a medicine check.
oh, is there? Okay, then do that. It's kind of you're trying to determine like how the skin reacts to.
Yeah.
Okay, 11. That's not bad. He's certainly been tied up for, well, he's been tied up for a while. You can't pin down exactly how long. It doesn't seem like, the marks are severe enough that he would have been tied up since like the morning. Because at this point that would mean like 6-7 hours. Doesn't look that severe, but there's clear some abrasions there.
Okay. I start getting him to walk me through, like, what did you do yesterday? Like, do you live here? What's your business in this area, kind of thing.
He tells you, he kind of works in, he's sort of like a stock trader, of sorts. He's kind of a businessman. Pushes papers for not the Sinisterns, the Volaguards. And he said he was just taking some contracts, just delivering contracts, just staying here just a night. Got a big bonus, and so last night he celebrated. Got a little drunk, passed out, and he says he just woke up like this.
Mm-hmm. Does he seem really panicked? Does he seem really upset or surprised about this whole thing? Is he jittery?
Jittery, no. No, and now that he's untied, he almost seems calm.
Alright. I question him more about, you sure you don't remember anything? Like, has anything like this ever happened to you before? Are you sure there's no reason you can imagine that anyone would want to tie you to a chair?
I've never been tied to a chair in my life. Well, not when I didn't want to be, but no. No.
Nice.
Yeah. That was my first thought. I was like, where are we going with this, guys?
No, and what's with all the... I'm the victim here. Shouldn't you be trying to figure out who tied me to a chair in the first place? Maybe someone slipped me something.
It's entirely possible, but the more I know about you, the more I know about why someone might have wanted to tie you to a chair.
I don't know what to
I show
tell
him
you.
the symbol again.
You what?
I said I show him like the note and the symbol again, and I'm like, "Are you sure that this means nothing to you? You've never seen this symbol before?"
He looks in. Make me a detection roll.
Okay. I'm gonna use up one of my feat points to boost this.
Boost away. Yeah, is that the boosted roll?
This is the boosted
Okay,
roll.
I see that 3. Okay. When you showed it again, just for like the brief, like a half second, just as he like looks at it, you almost see like he almost like flinches. There's a little bit of a tell there. When he's like, no, I told you, I've never seen that.
I look at him and I just maintain just uncomfortably intense eye contact. I just wait. I'm just waiting.
Okay. Make me an intimidation roll. Okay. He kind of, after a while, he kind of, it's like a staring contest. He looks away first. And he goes, okay, maybe I remember a little bit more that I didn't remember a minute or two ago. Told you I had a lot to drink. It's coming. I only get pieces, here and there. It's coming back to me a little bit, I think.
I just wave my hand to say as if, go ahead.
I don't know who tied me up to the chair. I don't know how that happened. But you're not the first one to come into this room today.
Okay. Who came in before me?
I don't know, but he didn't let me go. He just pinned the note to me and jumped out the window. About right before you came in.
Mike, remind me what the note says. It says we know or they know?
They know.
They know. Okay. I'm gonna take a gamble here.
Okay.
And I assume that I have like maybe a pen or something on me. Or there's like a pen
Absolutely.
in the room.
Yep.
And when I was experimenting with the symbol, did I find out whether it had to be drawn with ash or whether you could just draw the symbol?
I mean, you practiced with other materials. You didn't get any kind of reaction unless you did it in ash.
Okay. I imagine, I don't know if you'll allow this, but I would imagine at that result that I would take to carrying a little bit of the ash with me.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Off chance that I could use it or do something with
No,
it.
I absolutely understand that. After a year, you've been messing around with it for a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I dip my finger in it and I kind of grab his hand, and
Okay.
I imagine with some practice,
Uh-huh.
I can quickly kind of. I just say,
Okay.
let me see your hand for a second.
He's all right. Man, this is just getting weirder and weirder. He lets you have your hand, then you take out the ash, and he gets a little uncomfortable, and you put your finger and you start like drawing. The first line is, what are you doing? Why can't you just let me go? What are you rubbing that stuff on me for?
I don't even acknowledge that he's talking.
Okay. You draw another couple lines, and he starts getting a little bit more agitated, and he starts like pulling back. He's like, "Hey, knock it off."
I tell him very curtly to stop moving.
Okay, I mean, he kind of settles down a little bit. You draw a little bit more. You get about like 3/4 of the way done, and he starts freaking out. He just starts yanking on your hand, slapping your other finger away. I had get that stuff off me. You don't know what that stuff can do. Ash, it could be like dead people you're rubbing on me.
Yeah, you think so?
I know so. I mean, isn't that what it is? He's fighting you on it now.
Okay.
I like how both Josephine and Alistair are like fighting somebody. It makes you tinkering away.
Yeah.
Basically, it seems like you're not gonna be able to complete this symbol without without force. He's no longer just letting you do it. He's just like pulling on you every time you try. He like slaps your hand away.
Yeah. I just look at him and I say, oh fuck, I'm going with this. Suggest that perhaps you stop assaulting members of the city guard, particularly after they have saved you from being tied to a chair. And I go to like resume sketching and I say, this will tell me something rather important.
Okay.
In the moment.
Make me a either negotiation or intimidation. One or the other. You're kind of intimidating a little bit using your stature as a cog.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and boost this one as well.
Okay.
It's probably a smart thing to a smart thing to do.
Boost.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Okay, you say that, you put on your brave face, and he starts pulling more on you. No, it's just no.
I stop and
Why
I look
are you
at
doing
him
this?
And I say, you know exactly why I'm doing it.
No, you're mad. Are you even a real cog? What's going on here?
Am I getting punked?
Yeah, am I getting punked?
Getting punked.
Oh, good. Okay. I sigh and I drop his hand.
Okay.
I shrug my shoulders.
He quickly, like as soon as he gets his hand back, he quickly like rubs it off on the bed and cleans off his hand. What is wrong with you?
A lot less than will be wrong with you if they really do know.
Who know what? What are you talking about?
I sort of just shrug my shoulders. And say, what do I say?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. No, I just shrug my shoulders and say, I'm sure that this sort of baffled and innocent act has saved you many times, but if they know your secret.
I don't have any secrets yet.
I shrug my shoulders.
You're the one assaulting a citizen. What if I report you?
Shrug my shoulders. What are you going to do? Report that I saved you from being tied up in a chair and then you refuse to answer my questions?
You freed me, but then you restrained me yourself. For no good reason. I'm the victim here.
Yes, who conveniently forgot many details until suddenly you felt like remembering something.
So he says, memory's a funny thing. You know, it comes and goes.
No, actually, I don't know that.
He stands up and he straightens out his shirt and he says, are you holding me or can I go?
I shrugged my shoulders and said, you're free to leave.
Very well. He just kind of marches out of the room, opens the door, and slams it behind him.
I poke my head out the window just to see how far the drop down to the ground is.
It's just like a single floor. So, I mean, if you, like, sat on the windowsill and just dropped, like a 10 to 12 foot fall, maybe, onto cobblestone.
I'm just gonna do that then, and then I'm gonna wander back to where I was.
Jump up.
Throws a cape out. Batman's out the window. Okay, kind of
Just nonchalantly, just like boop.
drop down. Like some of the people like in the crowd that are nearby, like whoa, and they
And you
back
just
up.
act like nothing's happened. You're just like,
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, the wagon and the Sinistrum enforcers have kind of turned around and started to make their way, away. It looks like Mick is just about to start working on installing the capacitor. It seems to be that's kind of what you're being directed towards, Mick. Alistair, we left you frozen in time, holding the other engineer. So I guess you back up a little bit.
All right. Now, son, I don't want to hurt you. It's not my job. I want from you. So what I want is a little piece of something over there. If you help me, we both can walk away from this a little bit richer.
Make me a negotiation roll.
I was gonna say that is definitely negotiation.
He's got to weigh his options here. He's between a rock and a hard place.
Negotiation with what?
Isn't
It's a
No.
skill.
you have to add something into that?
Yeah.
It's a social skill, which means that you choose what you add to it at the time.
Yeah.
And this
What
is
situation best?
out of the attributes. I don't know what. You're just kind of using your sweet talking guile. But,
Poison.
you're also having physically restrained too. So. Hold on. You could use either your intellect or whatever the intelligence roll is, or or whatever the physical one is.
Physique.
Yeah,
Zeke?
yeah.
Physique or prowess, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Depending how you
strength.
kind of. I mean, you're doing both. I mean, you're physically intimidating him, but you're also trying to, reason with him. He kind of looks at you and just kind of just nods.
I mean, it'll be a hell of a lot more than what those cheap asses probably pay you anyway.
He just looks at you, still petrified. You're still holding him against the wall.
Mouth covered.
Yeah.
Probably a knife to his gut too.
No.
No. This is a gentle shakedown.
Yeah. Now, you don't need to be so scared. There's no bloodshed here if we could avoid it. I prefer that way. All I need from you is to get the lead engineer into this alley. So he's going to have a little accident and he needs a replacement.
He looks a little bit confused, but he just keeps nodding. He's pretty much been nodding the whole time now.
I don't care how you do it. You just need to get him in here and, he needs to go to sleep for a little while.
Yeah, and he just nods.
This is great.
And that's all you need to do. No blood on your hands. You walk away with a clean conscience and money in your pocket.
Again, just nods.
All right. Well, seems like we have a deal, or you're just that scared shitless that you just will say anything.
He nods again. But then you see him like he lifts up his hand like he's looking for a handshake as you get pinned to the wall.
Okay. Shake his hand. Stop pinning him, I guess.
All right, so you kind of let him out. He kind of falls away from the wall, gasps, and he kind of looks. He whispers, "Just want me to get him in here. That's all I have to do.
Yeah, get him in here, hold his attention. I promise I won't, hurt him too much. I mean, they're Cinderstorm bastards. I'm sure they have it coming.
Shrugs and says, "That's all I have to do."
Yeah.
He just nods and says, "Okay." And he turns back to towards the mouth of the alley and just yells, "Hey, you better check this out. I think some stuff is stolen back here. A whole bunch of stuff missing."
That's awesome.
And the Cinderstorm engineer immediately turns around and he goes, "God damn it!" He has a clipper and he slams it down. And he stomps into the alley. He says, "If you imbeciles misplace some more equipment, it's coming out of your paycheck." No, what are you doing, Alice? Are you did you try to hide while he's coming in, or are you just gonna stand there with this other guy?
How quickly did he How quickly did he turn around and
It was pretty quick.
Oh shit! You bastard!
He's not a trained assassin. This is just a worker. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just trying not to die today.
It's like working with Mick, but
Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, you have at least a couple seconds to do something for him to turn around, yell those things, for the guy to turn around and start walking into the alley. I mean, you have some moments there.
yeah, I'll try to hide.
Okay, make me a stealth roll.
Damn it!
The guy starts walking in. You're just oh gee, you weren't expecting him to just yell, so you try to dive back where you were before, and you kind of catch your foot on a piece of something. You kind of just fall into a crate. And now the engineer, the Cinderstorm engineer, starts running and goes, "Oh, is that him? Well, help! Grab him! Grab him!
Grab him.
And he's running towards you.
Oh hey, what's going on, guys? It's well, this is a grand old time. It's just parties and
Pretending to be drunk.
Yeah, the
putting
Cinderstorm.
up these cool things around town, and it's time to celebrate.
The Cinderstorm guy grabs you by the arm, and the engineer that you turn to your side, he kind of goes along. Now he doesn't know what to do, so he's kind of just standing there awkwardly. But the engineer, he grabs you, drags you out. He goes, "What are you doing back here? This is private property."
What am I doing? I'm partying. It's a celebration now. Making the city better a place for everybody.
I like drunk Alistair.
He kind of shakes you and says, "This is Cinderstorm property. You back here stealing stuff?"
What? Steal it? I've stolen everything in my life, sir.
He starts trying to pat you down.
Oh, well, hey, I only like women. I'm flattered, but I don't swing that way.
What kind of weapons and stuff are you carrying that would be obvious if he starts patting you down? If he keeps patting you down, what's he gonna find? Within reason.
Within reason.
I mean, he's just a quick pat down. I mean, if you have a pistol on your side, he's definitely gonna find and see that.
Yeah.
But if you have something smaller, then you don't need to even. You will probably miss it.
Yeah, he'll find the pistol.
Okay.
The knife probably not.
Okay.
But is he focused on the pat down? He's not even
he's grabbed you by kind of near the shoulder, kind of holding you up by the arm, and his other hand he's starting to just pat you down and mumbling about theft and stuff.
All right, so he's is he what I'm asking is he kind of bend over feeling around, or is he all right.
He's bent over feeling around.
He's bent over.
So he's feeling me up. He's copping a feel.
Yeah, he has, at this point he almost seems a little bit more annoyed than anything else.
Without buying me dinner first. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Not a cheap date, damn it. All right, so when he's doing that, I'm just gonna throw my other arm around him and pull him back and slam his face into the wall.
Okay. I know there are a bunch of that's almost like a grapple type things. I know there are a bunch
Yeah.
of rules around that. I know they're somewhere, so I'll peek at them quick.
Would that be brawling?
Is there rules around brawling?
I mean, it's in the
Just pushed,
character sheet,
slammed.
but all it says brawling weapon is grapple for brawling, and I mean, there's a role for it
Is there
with grapple / unarmed.
the combat?
Yeah, it's in combat under brawling.
Oh,
Is it a special skill that you're looking at?
As far as I can tell, skill is
Oh,
unarmed.
I'm just trying to look
Alright.
through the combat area, see if there's anything.
Because what I'm seeing here is roll, targeted roll, weapon, grapple. MAT is 7 or whatever for mine, and the skill
I
that you
see
only can
grapple
pick
now.
for it is unarmed.
Grapple, pinning arms, knockout, strike.
it's almost like a knockout strike,
Yeah.
grapple
Yeah, so
or
that's
whatever.
like a knockout strike is like the equivalent of a non-lethal blow in D&D.
Yeah. Or it's like I don't know, it's like a shove or like a grapple. I don't know, fine, it's whatever.
Smashing his face into a cement wall.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll ad lib it. There'll be something more to kind of try to figure out if there's actually a rule set already in place. So we'll do like old school D&D. We'll do some like a contest. I'll give you a boosted die because he's caught off guard. So like I want to say strength, but I don't think strength's even a stat anymore.
I mean, there's a grapple like roll. So
Okay.
I don't know if you do that.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Looks like
it's
looks like
pretty
an
much
attack.
basing your attack against his defense.
Okay.
Which button is it? Just which button did you hit? Say it's just the roll
I
button.
clicked roll. Yeah, click
Alright.
roll because targeted roll. That's the same thing.
All right, because I think the other one is like the stealth roll for like just the DM.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, is that what I've been doing?
Oh my goodness.
I don't think so. I mean, have the rest of you seen Brittany's rolls?
I've been seeing Oliver's
Okay, then you're
rolls.
Okay.
20. Okay, 22. Yeah, that's wow. That is well. How did you get plus 10 to that?
I don't know.
How are you such a brawler? Either
Oh,
way,
yes.
I mean, either way, it's a good roll. Even
Plus
just
7. His is plus 10. Like, my goodness.
just straight. I mean, just straight rolls. That's a 12. That's his defense. So either way, even without the bonus. Yeah. So I mean, you just kind of maybe give him like a little knee and like an elbow, and you push him right into the wall. Thunk, crash, and he just slumps to the ground. And the
Badass
worker
Alistair, I'm
who's
like
standing
him.
there with you still, he looks petrified. He keeps looking at him,
No.
looking at you, looking at him, looking at you.
You know, you could have been a little bit more subtle about that, but I guess it worked out in the end.
He just like
Here's-
looks at you.
So I gotta get his. So he's knocked out, right? He's
Yes.
completely.
Yep,
Alright.
he is unconscious.
So we're gonna just move him. Like I guess like cover him up with that tarp, but like first I'm gonna have to take his helmet, goggles, and jacket.
okay,
Kind of look the part.
this is now Hitman tabletop RPG.
Yep.
Yep.
As you pick him up, slump him into a dumpster, and change into his clothes. Okay, that takes you a little while. As you start like dragging the guy away, the engineer looks at you and he says, "Am I good? We good?"
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. Before you go, hold on. I don't want you leaving just yet. Not that I don't trust you, of course. Just stick around and you get a little bit more gold. I need you to walk out with me.
roll me another negotiation roll. Okay. He just kind of nods and, all right. Whether he wants the money or just his life or both, but he agrees. Okay. So you take a few minutes. You have him hang out back there as you get dressed, redressed, whatever. Put on your camouflage, or your disguise rather. Mick, you're working on, you're just about at the point where you need to install this special capacitor thing. You kind of get it over towards the tower. You're not quite sure how to, put it in, which way it's supposed to kind of go. You look up, one of your buddies has gone. You heard him get called into the alley, go check on something. And now the Cinderstorm engineer who was bossing you around, he's gone too. It's just you and one other of your, lowly workers. And you know you're supposed to put this part in next, but you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, if I don't know where it's going or how to do it, I'm gonna wait for the head guy.
You wait patiently?
Yep.
Okay. Josephine, you do your Batman jump out the window and slip back into the crowd. Are you gonna just go back to your normal kind of patrol business and file the events away for later thinking?
Pretty much. If anyone asks me where I've been, I'll just say I was, I went into the crowd to kind of just check things out.
Yeah. No one really questions you much. I mean, you're the senior officer there anyway.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you catch like the eye of one of your guys who's working with you. You're just like, hey, just had chase. Some guy was yelling. Don't worry about it. So you patrol again. You notice that the wagon bringing the supplies has come and gone. It looks like they're on the final stages of whatever the heck they're doing. Like most of the stuff's getting cleaned up. There's only a few parts left. You see Mick there, the little gobber, his steam jack, and one of the lower district workers. You do notice that another one of them is gone, and the Cinderstorm engineer is gone as well. If that concerns you in any way, shape, or form.
I feel like I'm probably feeling a little bad about essentially abandoning my post.
Okay.
So I guess I'll probably kind of like walk around, like see what's going on. Like I am kind of curious about where these guys are, especially since they did seem to be under such a time crunch.
Yep.
And wanting to get everything done right away.
Yeah, and your secondary objective was to keep an eye on what the Cinderstorm guys are doing. Okay, so you kind of walk around. Make me a detection roll.
I do make a motion to the people I'm working with that I'm like, I'm going to go check on, where everyone's gone kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Maybe you should kind of circle a little bit closer to the tower, get away from most of the crowd, and you can't seem to pick out where the rest of the people have gone. You see that there, are a couple alleys. There's an alley closest to where the tower is. It's dark. You can't quite see in it. There are, of course, the buildings there that people could have snuck into. You see down the street, you don't see anything. You can kind of see the wagon disappearing in the distance. You don't get a sight of the two missing fellas, though.
I kind of shrug my shoulders and like continue like looking around.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as suspicious.
That's just. I mean, she's a cog. Maybe she doesn't really know what they're supposed to be doing or not doing.
Not her problem.
Taking a leak together.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sage.
So, Alistair, you have a few minutes pass and you get on the uniform. Are you a large man, or what's your stature like, Alistair?
What did I say? 5'7".
Guess you're
5'7", 110 pounds.
Okay, so you're a much smaller, slimmer guy. The uniform's a little big on you, in just about every dimension. You kind of gotta tie the belt real tight and roll up the pants a little bit. This guy, the engineer, he was probably, he was below 6 feet, but maybe, like 5'10", 5'11". He was a fairly tall guy, a little bit heavier set. But you get everything on. And the other guy's just staring at you. Like, what is going on?
Just calm down. Everything is okay. There was a few hiccups in the beginning. We're not going to talk about your performance. It was satisfactory. It did well.
I like that you graded him.
There's some places you need improvement, but I have to say, for your first time, that was that was okay.
Lucky for you, this is a pass-fail course. You gotta pass.
Yes.
He just kind of
definitely-
is looking nervous and just nodding. He's getting more nervous by the moment. He keeps like looking back down the alley.
You definitely earned that gold. I give him just a handful of.
Nice.
I don't know what they're freaking what they get paid, but just a handful of gold. I'll just shove it in his pocket or whatever.
Okay. He takes it and that kind of almost like calms it down a little bit. Like, wow, he's actually giving me. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, he puts it in his pocket and not so nervous anymore. So he says, "What do I do now? I thought I just had to call him in here."
Yep. And then all I need you to. All that's left is we walk out.
Okay.
You roll with what happens next, and if you could do me a big favor, maybe distract some of the engineers, the other 2 engineers. Just strike up a conversation with them. I don't really care.
Okay. He looks a little bit horrified that you keep adding duties after it's just like do this one thing. Now it's like also do this. Oh, but then do this. He's just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But he's in too deep now.
Yep.
So he just kind of just nods, but he's looking nervous
He's
again.
part of it now.
You see his hand
he's
like
a
you see his
poor
hand
guy.
go to his side and like kind of like touch where like the money went to maybe try to reassure himself. Like, this is just a job.
He's an accomplice now. If I go down, he goes down too.
He just nods and says, "Okay, so back out there, huh?"
Yep.
Okay, and he starts walking out of the alley. I'm gonna follow close behind him.
It's gonna look really weird because I'm like not tall enough or
Mhm.
fat enough to look
Yep.
like this fucker.
Are you just gonna follow him?
Yep, fall with the scowl on his face, on my face, and when we
Okay.
get near the post, just like start yelling at him.
Okay. So you guys kind of emerge back onto the street. Nick, Josephine, you see them come back out of the alley. I need you both to roll me detection rules.
Okay.
Me too.
Yes, both of you.
Okay.
11. 9. Mick, you see your buddy. I mean, maybe he's not your buddy, but you know your coworker. You kind of know him. He comes back over. He just starts talking about things and whatever. He starts kind of striking up a really awkward conversation. Josephine, you see the 2 people come out of the alley too, and at first you're like, okay, well, yeah, they were. Maybe they were just peeing together. But then you notice that the Cinderstorm employee is not the same guy. Somehow he's gotten shorter. His clothes don't fit, and his pants are rolled up. And even from like a little bit of a distance, you see, like, that's not the same dude.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
The engineer looks like he's the same guy, but like the lower district guy, he seems the same.
Yeah.
And now that
I,
that guy is standing in front of Mick and the other worker at the base of the tower, like getting into this really elaborate like story with lots of hand gestures.
Mix into it.
Yeah. And he's like talking way too loud. And he's talking way too loud while he's telling this just elaborate, distracting story.
Yeah, he said I got put with the rookies, right? But there was like 1 or 2 like was it Sinistrum?
Cinderstorm.
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 Cinderstorm, yes. But there's like they have 1 or 2 like security personnel as well, right?
There were those enforcers that came with the wagon. They're gone. There is a Cinderstorm. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he's an enforcer. Standing kind of near, kind of leaning against the building, a little bit away from the tower. The side the tower's on, not paying too much attention. He's there. Other than that, there was just the Cinderstorm engineer who has done some kind of weird weight loss transformation.
Yeah. I walk over to him
Okay.
and say,
The other enforcer, or
yeah, the other enforcer,
Okay,
and I
gotcha.
kind of like nod over towards the engineer, and I'm like, seems a bit odd to switch engineers up, mid project. What happened to the other guy?
He looks up at you and says, "What are you talking about, Cog?"
Nod over towards the engineer, and I'm like, it's clearly a different guy.
He leans over, sees Alistair trying to put on his yelling at the other two while the other engineer's putting on this elaborate story. And he squints and he thinks, he goes, "What the hell?" And
I was blown.
his shoulders
Abandoned ship.
like his long gun. He starts like not rushing over, just kind of like wandering over, like he's like a little bit confused, like what is going on? Because before he literally wasn't paying attention. He was just on, just leaning at it, like this is just a boring job too for him. He wanders over. Alistair, you see.
I hope Alistair has an alibi.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Josephine.
No, I'm definitely following along as well because I'm like, I definitely did disappear in the middle for a bit there. So let's make up for that.
Okay. Nick, you're probably distracted. You're kind of kneeling at the base of the tower anyway. This guy. Alistair, you're observant. You see now that coming towards you is the Cinderstorm Enforcer as well as a Cog Enforcer. They're both just walking towards you.
Hell, I'm not even Alistair, and I already have an alibi in my head.
Would I have an alibi? I'm clearly a different person. Because fucking somebody ratted me out.
Oh, you know, I would say my alibi, but I don't want to help you.
You fuck.
Not so much that I ratted you out. I don't even know you.
It's like, oh, pointed out that this person is clearly you because you spent so much time memorizing the looks of the employees.
That is
She's
her
feeling
job.
guilty for wandering away in the middle of her job. It's like I better do something about that.
So what do you want to do, Alistair? You don't know your cover's born, but that would be a reasonable assumption that these two people are walking towards you.
How far away are they?
To 20 feet at this point.
Where's the the conductor?
Oh, you're standing right next to them. It's at your feet.
Oh,
He's gonna grab it.
My
Look
feet.
at
Yeah, it's like right there, within like a step and a grab if you wanted to pick it up. If that's the idea. I mean, Mick was just about to put it in there once you figured out where it went.
Yeah.
weighing his options.
How? Let me say this. Hold on. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to pick up the conductor,
Okay.
make a show like I'm looking it over,
Mm-hmm.
and then casually walk in the direction of the alley.
Okay.
Just turn around and walk away with it.
I like that. Like, let's see. Oh yeah, this looks good. Just kind of wandering. Okay.
Time to hit the old dusty trail.
I imagine him looking at like, no, this isn't the right. It's not good enough. I would get the spare
There's
one.
There's something wrong with this one. You need a replacement.
Okay. So Josephine, you see that as you're walking along, you see what you assume to be an imposter at this point. And Ben now pick up a piece of equipment, give it a look over, and then just slowly, casually, start wandering away in the opposite direction.
Should have yelled, "You idiots!" Grab
What?
the wrong piece.
I kind of look over to the enforcer, who I assume is kind of walking ahead of me.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Is he noticing this? Is he like...
Maybe he walks like a little quick. He's not like a rushy. He's still kind of like, what's going on here? And he walks a little bit. He's walking a little bit quicker.
I'm going to let him take the lead, because at this point, it's him dealing with his own employee. Like, we were here to kind of like keep an eye on the crowd, but I don't want to interfere with the workings of their company.
Okay.
So I'm just going to let him kind of set the pace for whatever's happening.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he kind of picks up the pace a little bit. Also, you kind of make it to like the opening of the alley. Are you looking behind you, or are you just gonna play it Joe Cool the whole way through?
I think shit. No, I'm gonna get to I'm gonna get through like the entrance of the alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look behind me to see how, like, just like a casual glance, like behind, like
Uh-huh.
to see how far they are, and then probably quicken, speed up.
Okay, because that's what happened. You play Joe cool. You just wander over to the alley, and then you kind of step in the shed and take a quick look behind to see how things are going. The Sinistern Enforcer has made some ground on you. He's not more than 10 feet. He's like walking quick after you, and as you turn around, he goes, "What the hell? Who? Stop! Who are you?" And he starts pulling up his gun.
Oh shit!
You just start booking it.
Yes.
Okay, you see he's right at this point. Okay. He yells one last time, like, basically like a "stop running or I'm gonna shoot" kind of thing. He's lining up his shot. And just keep running.
Hold on. I got.
What do you got? A smoke bomb? Ninja?
Um. Hold on.
Luda. Hi. Hi.
That's.
You having troubles finding a solution to your problem?
he is in the crosshairs. Running down narrow alley.
Snack to be continued. Dun 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 dun.
Episode 1, Alistair dies by getting sniped in the back of the head.
Shot in the fucking back.
He had a good
I
run.
mean, the first person you did kill, you stabbed him in the back.
Just stab him in the back.
In the back of the throat. It's still the back. He's like, that's debatable.
Semantics, really.
Karma.
It's like the back of the neck is still the front.
Because I never wrote it down.
What are you looking for?
I don't have the PDF on this computer now.
I have the PDF right here,
fail.
or whatever. I could send you the link.
Yeah.
You don't have any magic spells to get you out of this.
Of course, it's not going to want to actually. Oh,
I don't know magic spells. I'm Batman. I got stuff.
All right, let's see your gadgets. Go gadget. Josephine, do you respond, at all differently to the new develops as the Sinistern guy, yells out, starts pulling up his rifle? Or are you still like, oh, let him settle this?
Yeah.
that's what you sent me
Okay.
for the PDF.
I maybe even just say to him, like, I'm following your lead kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know if would I have a gun? Do I have a gun?
Do you have a gun? Is it part of your
I
inventory?
don't think I do. I have a sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sword and magic. Secret magic.
I have a sword. Of course, because I don't have fucking Adobe goddamn
What are you looking for?
bastards. I swear to God.
I
course I
don't
don't.
like to hear that.
Looking for Batman
I'm a-
equipment?
I'm gonna need the fucking rule book. God damn it. All right. Yeah. Look up concussion grenade.
Compression grenade, that'd be in range 260.
I'm like right there. What about it? Concussion grenade.
I happened to
utilizes
Compression grenade.
it's got
I happened to
an
pick
AoE
up.
of 3.
I happened to pick up a couple of grenades.
Gas, known for its expensive qualities. True air is captured, liquefied through a treatment process, then cooled and stored within the grenade. When the bomb is detonated, the true air is heated and released.
Concussion grenade causes no damage. Characters caught in the AoE are knocked down.
Cloud effects overlapping the AoE expire. Well, so there'll be a cloud.
No, there won't be a cloud. It'll just
be-
it sounds like it just disperses other cloud effects.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
just blows out air in all directions.
Knocks people down pretty much then.
Yep. It's got an AoE of 3, so you gotta get within.
It's a grenade that trips people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Effective range is 48 feet, so you're within the
Yeah.
throwing range at least. I don't think it says the range of it in general, though.
No, I mean it says AoE, but it just says 3. I don't know if that means 3 feet. I guess. Well, it's gotta be 3
I
feet.
think that might be 3 feet, yeah.
Yeah, but is that radius? Is that diameter?
I would imagine diameter.
3-foot bubble of effect. Let's see if it says. $212.
I just hear a bunch of thick pages flipping.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Alright, combat page. I would imagine that would be in for the AoE.
Yeah, AoE rules around 212. I was just trying to see if that was the AoE value meant, radius, diameter.
Yeah, yeah.
It matters. An AoE's attack point of impact determines the origin of damage and affects the characters within the AoE, but not directly hit by the. Sounds like radius. That's just how close to the point of impact that effects will be caused. So basically, you gotta throw it and you got within 3 feet of him. Is that what you're going with?
Yep.
Turn around, chuck a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you to roll an initiative roll. I'm going to roll an initiative roll to see who fires or throws first. Because he's getting ready to shoot you in the head. Or shoot you, in general.
$20.
Oh,
Nah,
boy.
that's not very good. That's not very good.
No, he's getting the shot off first. I can almost. Oh no, there's a pretty good chance he won't. Jeepers.
Pretty good, you mean by like 5% chance he won't? It's even.
Tied. Dang it. Do it again.
Do it again.
This gives you a chance to redeem yourself.
No, you roll a 5-1. You get plus 14.
I bet I'm faster though.
Yeah, you're faster. Plus 14. I'm giving him plus 12. Plus 12.
Plus 12.
12. Go ahead and roll it.
Reroll it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You tied. We tied.
24. You got
23.
max.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So like, as he's kind of scrolls to a knee. He's got it's a pretty large rifle. He starts like bringing it up. It takes a little bit of time. You're able to you see that coming. Quick thinking, like, okay, this is what I bought these grenades for. You turn around. You're gonna have to.
Oh, just for I was gonna say for further use. For the grenades, it's a quick action to pull the pin and then attack to
We're
throw
not
it.
actually in combat, so I'm not worrying about that. But what I am worried about is the baby-sized capacitor in your hands. You're gonna have to get rid. You have to offload that somehow before you can't throw the grenade. So if you're gonna go through the
just
grenade,
tuck it under my arm. And just like tuck it and then like pull the pin and then like hurl it, like throw it behind me.
okay, I'll allow that. So you get the grenade. You get the drop on him. So make a ranged attack for your grenade. Wherever the roll for that is. Thrown weapon roll or whatever. We've never done AoE anything before, so I don't know.
I don't know, because I didn't even like. I totally forgot to set it up. So, and I don't have the freaking Sage. Do you have the stuff for it?
I have AoE stuff here, and I can quickly get to the grenade page again.
Yeah, I mean the grenades just has a stat for like, the damage and stuff. The rules are based on. It's just ranged attack roll. Oh, a ranged attack. Does that include thrown as well?
That's what I'm looking for. I don't really.
I think
see
it is a thrown weapon. It's not. It's not
It,
like.
it is, yeah, but
No, I know, but does that fall under the category of ranged attacks?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Is it just the examples it gives are just like bows, rifles, flamethrowers, crossbows, harpoon guns, mortars, and the like. I could just look in the glossary for thrown weapons.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
We're learning. Thrown weapons skill. Thrown. Not the right thrown. We may just have to ad-lib this too.
oh, wow. Does the concussion grenade give you like a concussed status?
No, I think it just knocks you down.
Oh, that would have been cool because it says a concussed character has been badly stunned and only comes to his senses over time or once he has been brought back to his senses by another character.
Yeah, I mean, there's a military skill thrown weapon, so there's got to be separate rules for it. And what? You'd think it'd be under. Yeah, rules for magic, melee attacks, ranged attacks. I mean, I guess we just treat it like a,
Throwable.
well, yeah, but I don't know the rules for that. So let's say we might have to just treat it like a ranged attack. There is there. Okay, never mind. It is under ranged attack rules. The attack roll is 2d6 plus prowess for a thrown weapon, as opposed to poise. So it's 2d6 plus prowess plus a military skill if you have it, plus the weapon attack modifier, which doesn't apply because I think it's just a grenade. So it's just 2d6 plus your prowess. That's to hit. Roll that. And if you miss, we'll have to do the deviation, see if you get close enough. AoE is complicated. 14. Okay, yeah, you hit him.
You actually could have just done a thrown weapon, because that's what the thrown weapon is a 2d6 plus prowess.
Okay, but
Yeah.
okay, that's already in there.
Yeah, plus your
Well, we know that now.
rank in it or whatever.
I wasn't sure if that was going to affect.
Yeah,
anything.
no, that's why it's good that we look at this stuff beforehand, like this.
Okay, so now that we got all the clumsy numbers out of the way, you tuck your little baby-sized piece of equipment underneath your arm, pull the pin, kind of underhand lob it, and he's only, like I said, like 10 feet away. So this thing just like lands like at his ankles. He doesn't have a chance to even like register and like even look at it. It just boom, and it blows him back a couple feet. Josephine, you're far enough away; it doesn't impact you, but you see it. You see it. You recognize. You saw something, whether you recognize it was a grenade or not, thrown towards the enforcer. Then it just goes off like a flashbang. He gets knocked back. Alistair, I'm gonna assume you're just gonna hightail it.
Full sprint. Yes.
Josephine, how are you reacting to this now?
Well, shit, I guess this is my responsibility now, so I'm now running after him as well.
Okay. The crowd like just what's going on? Like panic, not like full-fledged panic, but they clearly know that some kind of attack is going down. Mick, you see all that too. Do you react at all?
He's probably interested.
Okay. Does that mean you're gonna do anything,
I mean,
or are you just like
he's probably gonna
that's
like.
interesting?
Oh, that's interesting. Cool. No, he has nothing else to do now. The capacitor is gone.
Yep.
He doesn't see it anymore. He saw an explosion type thing. He's gonna probably go investigate a bit.
Okay. So Josephine, you start running after Alistair. He's got a little bit of a head start. But you make it. You run towards the alley, and you see Alistair up ahead. You see a person. The fake Sinderstorm engineer. Up ahead. Do you want to just keep running, yell out, shoot
No,
him?
just
Oh, you don't have
running. I
cast,
don't have a gun.
cast bleed on him. No.
Kill him immediately.
Okay, so keep running.
That's fucked up.
The fastest way to solve this,
That's fucked up.
says the assassin.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
What? I
Alright,
take offense to that.
Or something. No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep running, because I don't want to give him, like, that spike of adrenaline that he might need to, like,
Faster.
Yeah.
Faster, faster, faster.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
I just want to say there are rules for chases, though.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't see chasing a Glossary, so I have to find the old-fashioned way.
I think it's like under like movement or something, like speed.
That's what I was just about to check. It was movement. It's page 2.
I know there were like pursuit rules for 5th edition too that we didn't really ever get into, but they exist.
Full advance,
Movement.
run, charge, push, slammed, thrown, falling, being placed. That's all I can find. And unintentional movement.
And not the combat rules for movement. Well, I mean, we actually have speed stats. What are your speed stats, both of you? Is one of you faster than the other?
Probably. My agility is 4. Oh, no, my
This is a speed.
Yeah, there's actually a
Sorry, my-
speed stat, so
Mine's 6.
Alright.
you're just probably 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're the same.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's like the equivalent of like 30 feet of movement in 5th edition. Okay.
Yeah.
So both of you roll me something. I have to go back and look at the skill. Something akin to like an acrobatics, like agility kind of check. See how nimbly you can run through the dark alley that's full of crap.
Street.
Just roll
I was gonna
agility.
say, is that either like just roll straight agility, speed, or streetwise?
Yeah, streetwise not
Those
bad. It's
would be the
perception. That's your ability to see that's stuff's in your way and avoid it. So I guess you could do
And it is
that.
dark.
Or
Mm.
yeah, streetwise, I guess. Yeah, I like that.
Escape artist. Getting away.
Yeah, or escape artist. Yeah.
What? Streetwise? What?
Streetwise.
doing
I mean, you could do escape
You could
artists.
do
right?
escape.
This is
Yeah,
really based. So
Mine has perception. Oh.
yeah, Streetwise is perception.
So
escape artist.
what
is
are we rolling?
agility.
You can roll. I mean, Alistair, you can roll escape artist if you would prefer, because you are escaping. I like the flavor of it.
Yeah.
Alistair, person wiggles
Wriggles.
free, wriggles free.
I
Okay,
gotta change those.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're. I don't know. I feel like they're random unless there's somewhere. That stuff.
No,
No,
no, no.
you can-
You can
you can-
actually change them.
You can
Oh, is
click
it?
on like the little cog and it's
Oh,
like it'll
okay.
change what it.
I felt like they
It
were
says.
different every time. Also, make me a streetwise as well, Alistair. You're able to You're able to kind of nimbly get around stuff. Maybe you were back there, so maybe you kind of memorize where some crates and stuff were. Josephine, like you don't trip or like run into anything, but just you have to slow down a little bit to figure out your way through. Alistair kind of you see him disappear around the far end of the alley, like around a corner. Just as you come upon a semi-nude male lying unconscious in the middle of the alley.
Okay, well, seeing that Alistair clearly got away, I guess I'll kind of grab, tend to unconscious guy and then go check, kind of like drag him over to, or like walk him over to the guard.
Okay. Alistair, what is your goal? You just narrowly avoided running into somebody as you kind of just jumped out from the alley, but you're able to kind of like spin away from them and keep going.
All right, since there is no time limit on this job, I am just going to find I'm going to find a place to lay low, start seriously, what's up with that freaking echo? I don't know. Start take off the hard hat and the goggles and start just chucking them every once in a while, just take off the jacket with this the symbol, so I can slip away and find some. It's probably a safe house or something.
What did you do
live
with
over.
your personal clothing?
The only thing I really left was my jacket.
Okay.
I took his jacket.
Okay. All right. I just want to know what you left behind.
Yeah, it's just a coat, basically. Just whatever.
Sure. All right. So you're gonna try to, you're trying to lay low, duck in somewhere in the area.
Nah, I'd try to move a little ways out of the area, but definitely, I'm sure there's some place the unseen has the friendly
Taverns and establishments and.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you go to try to find the nearest kind of hidey hole to just hide from the immediate, attention. Josephine, you grab the unconscious guy, you drag him, back out. The other enforcer's picking himself off the ground, rubbing fingers in his ears and open his jaw, crack it. And he goes, "Oh, did you get him?"
No. Found this guy in the alley, though. This is our missing engineer.
Ah, shit. You see what he got away with?
I don't know.
He turns to you, Mick. Hey, Gobber.
I don't know. I
What
know what it was.
Yeah.
what was that thing you ran off with? What are you missing?
The conductor.
He just kind of nods and Shay says, "I don't think that's good."
I don't think so either. I was told it was one of the most important parts.
He leans over the engineer guy, and he's still unconscious. The guy who got knocked out. And he goes, "Oh, I guess I'll have to get this. I'll take care of him." He starts kind of picking him up, trying to throw him over a shoulder. And he kind of starts kind of like moving away. And he looks to you again, Mick, and he says, "Well, figure something out. It's gotta work. That's all I know. Patch it together."
Right. I mean, with the schematics of what I've seen, it seems like it'll only work with one of those conductors. So we either have to get a new one in, or we have to find that one.
Just make it work. Just patch something else in there. I don't know.
I don't want to take the blame for that, but I mean, okay.
Good. It gotta work by nightfall. That's all I know. I got my hands full, as you can see. Make it work, Gobber. And he starts
Nice.
I'll
moving
do
away.
my best. Aye, aye,
Trying to-
sir.
Trying to quickly kind of duck away from the crowd as they watch him. This is somewhat of an embarrassing situation for Cinderstorm. Not just that they were just robbed, but also that now, that one of their engineers is naked, having to be carried away. Not a good day for them. So he's trying to quickly get the guy, because the enforcer knows enough about that kind of stuff. He knows he's just got to get out of the sight of the public right now. That's his main goal. Okay. So
Well,
Mick,
if I spent enough time actually looking at the device,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do what the guy said. Just try to put something in there. So I'm gonna look at all this stuff in this alley, electrical stuff, and maybe put something together as best I can to resemble that giant of a conductor
I
to
gotcha.
shove in there.
Something to bridge the gap. Sure. Roll me a mechanical engineering, or whatever that roll was you made before.
Oh,
Josephine,
Okay, sweet.
what are you
I
doing
actually
now?
changed the text of that.
Add some elbow grease.
I ain't putting no magic in there.
Mhm. I'm not really sure what Josephine's doing. I imagine she's probably doing some crowd control at this point.
Okay, you're getting a little bit rowdy. Okay, so you go back to that. Figure let Cinderstorm worry about their knocked out guy and their stolen merchandise. I guess that's their problem now.
Yeah, I mean, our job was to deal with the crowd
Yep. So
for the most part.
you go back and help
Oh.
out your subordinates, try to get things under control. Alistair seems to be long gone with his goodie basket. Yeah, you're able to find some parts that you think could. I mean, you don't find a capacitor. It's a very specialized, expensive piece of
Yeah.
equipment. You're just not gonna find anything even approaching that. But you get some pieces together. You know enough about some of this, how this thing should work, to be able to fashion something together to fit in there and kind of perform some of the same duty to carry this, whatever this current is, from cables into the rest of the tower. So you're able to kind of cobble something together. So you do that.
All right.
The day kind of wears on. It takes a little bit while to finally get it done. But you do. Josephine, you spend the rest of the kind of afternoon just getting the crowd to calm down and not get too crazy. Alistair, are you doing anything in particular? Other than, laying down? Or laying low?
Just waiting for the just waiting for the coast is clear.
Okay, well, I mean, how long are you
Really, I
waiting?
think.
I mean, you duck into like a little ceramic shop. You know that's kind of loyal to the unseen. You kind of duck in there. You just kind of been hanging out in the back room. You haven't seen any attention on the street. Any like added patrols or people asking around or anything.
All right, so after I'm pretty sure that nobody's they're not really looking all that much. Probably just make my way back.
Okay.
Try to hide this thing. I'm not just carrying around this
Wrap it up like a baby.
this friggin' yeah. It's gonna be,
It's fairly conspicuous. This is not something you tuck in your pocket and just slide down the street. Okay, so you kind of work on trying to somehow camouflage it and then get back to, I'll assume, your base of operations.
ask the proprietor if he has a bag that I can borrow.
Yep, yeah, that's no problem. You can help you out with that. Try to rig something up. And you're not terribly far from your place of operation. Because I said, like, this, where you are now is kind of in between Coal Alley and the East Market, and you're set up in the East Market, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get to about nightfall. The sun kind of goes down. Mick, you finish your work. And without Cinderstorm employees around, well, once those guys left, you're not really sure what you're supposed to do other than once you finish it. But not too long after you kind of finish what you do, you kind of close the whole thing up and pick up some of your equipment. Some new Cinderstorm higher ups ride down the road in a wagon. The guy hops out and he walks over and just kind of looks over the tower. This looks like he's just very finely dressed. This is like it's like CEO level type guys. This is not just another engineer. He kind of looks over and he looks at you and says, "Everything good?"
Oh, he looks at me?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's just there to make sure
Mick
it was
can't-
finished.
Mick can't lie about something like this, so
Okay.
he's going to tell him the whole story. Like, one of the things were done, I was told to just put something in there.
He
so
just
that's
waves his
kinda
hands.
what
It's
I
just whoa, God, just is it finished?
did. Technically, yes.
Okay, that's all you had to say. God, gobbers. Turns in
Aye, aye, sir.
walks away and he takes out you see him
Turns it
sit on the wagon. He takes out a pocket watch, looks at it. Josephine, I'll assume you're just gonna kind of just keep watch over the crowd. Okay. So night falls just as just shortly after this guy has gotten there. You hear buzzing and stuff kind of start gears and stuff start to turn in this tower. This little kind of miniature lighthouse type thing starts buzzing and people kind of quiet down and they're waiting and looking. And it buzzes gets a little bit louder. And you see the cable almost move a little bit. And then you see this bright flare of light at the very top of the tower. Like I said, it's like a lighthouse, just bright beam, just for a minute. It just flashes and then it's gone, like a camera flash. And everyone just kind of quiet for a minute. They start mumbling And then the higher up guy, he hops off this wagon. And he walks back. He goes, "What'd you do?" I'm talking to you, Mick.
I told you what I did. One of the parts got stolen, the conductor, so I was told to fashion a new one and put it in. I did what
Yeah.
I was told.
As you're talking, you hear something pop and sizzle within the tower, and the whole tower starts kind of shaking a little bit. And then the light flashes up top again, like a light bulb, turning on, then quickly off again. And then there's a small explosion or something pops up at the top, and a couple streaks of lightning, or what looks like lightning, kind of come out from the tower into the crowd. Just boom, boom. People shout and scream, and one of the little lightning bolts hits the guy that was talking to you, Mick. Just hits him directly, just right in the chest, and it's almost like a cartoon skeleton moment. And there's just kind of a little bright flash of light, and it's gone. You look at him, Mick, and he's still standing there, and he's in the shape of person what he was before, but he looks like he's just made out entirely of black and gray ash. And a couple of people in the crowd that got hit, same thing happens to them, and people just start freaking out. But it's not like he's a form of ash that falls. He starts moving again, Mick. He starts
If he's a moving pile of ash, I'm going
Right.
straight for his ankles.
okay.
Just trying to hit the ash away, make him fall down or something. I don't know what to do. This is strange.
Yep. There were two more people in the crowd that got hit by these random streaks of lightning or whatever it is. The same thing happened to them. There's a bright flash. They get turned. It just looks like their entire body just becomes ash, and people start backing away. And then these ash things start moving again. And you hear one of them almost like it's trying to talk, but it just screams. And it lifts up his hands, and his hands are kind of they're not really fingers anymore. They're just almost like claws, and it starts moving for the next nearest person. And you see one of them slash and kind of cut into the arm of one of the citizens before he gets out of the way. And they just start, these three creatures just start going after people as just mayhem just explodes. Would we like to end things here,
I think that's kind of a good cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought.
that is a pretty good.